the mix up with the bracket. Yeah, and sometimes you get one stuck in the groups and you think,
all the time. LGD decides that we don't want to deal with it because LGD is a team that they focus a lot on team fight. Yes. They want to take very good team fights. They want to beat you. So they're probably going to snatch the Earth Spirit and and they don't want to give the Earthshaker to Mineski.
So we silencer on LGD.
We set the silencer, yeah.
And it's the second most pick for Mineski. So they kind of block pick that to pick ban.
I guess Earth Spirit Jakiro could be a good response here.
10 seconds remaining.
You find a replacement for that team fighting position 5. And Earth Spirit is just like both teams kind of want the hero.
And you wouldn't imagine LGD to grab like Wyvern Silencer, so you don't need to worry about the Wyvern unless you grab it yourself. But Earth Spirit for sure.
Yeah.
These are the ones that we talked about, right? The Earth Spirit Silencer, top two.
The other possible thing is Earth Spirit Puck here if they don't want the Jakiro. Earth Spirit Puck or Earth Spirit Mirana. I think those are the very possible options here for Mineski that are solid. You look at the opening, you feel like there's a lot of possibilities that can still happen in the picks later on. Opens up a lot of options.
I think one of them decides to grab the Mirana early.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past them because it's going to be a contested hero here in this matchup.
Sure. I love the way that Nanav has been playing the Mirana, so I wouldn't put it past them. Yeah, I think Puck or Mirana. Yeah.
There we go.
So okay, so they have their Flexi hero. So what is LG gonna go for their Flexi hero? Maybe the Puck. They go for the Puck, but Puck is like, I don't see them picking the hero too much. They seem like not to favor the hero, and it's against Earth Spirit. Some teams generally don't like Puck against Earth Spirit.
You think maybe they just pick up a support? A support at this point,
like a Sand King,
like Jakiro maybe something just early like.
No, I think it's gonna be like a Sand King or Tusk, a hero like this, like Yao. They want to put Yao on like a team fighting hero, like an initiating hero, a dagger hero maybe. He's either played Earth Spirit or Sand King so far. Yeah. Those are the two heroes he's been playing. So I kind of expect it to be the Sand King, even though I'm not too much of a fan of a position for Sand King. There are only a few players that can actually make it work. It's very difficult to make a position for Sand King work.
How do you rate Yao's though? Do you think it does work? I wouldn't say it's been banned, is it? You can't, like, nothing stood out.
Yeah, it's like you don't even want to ban it, but I wouldn't say it worked all the time, but it works sometimes.
It's a reliable disable, right? Reliable disable, team fight, and it's catch, which when you have silencer,
the thing is, like, it suits his character and playstyle. It suits him. It might not be a good hero in the meta, but it's good for the player. They're picking it for the player. Because he's also switching roles. They have to draft around certain picks for him. So both teams have their lineups. LGD is going towards just like the team fight. Chinese team, LGD always have a very, very heavy team fight. So when you're matched up against a heavy team fight, you have two options. One, you draft even more team fight. Two, you get a lot of wave clear. So the idea behind that is you shuffle all the lanes. They are the team that wants to fight. But they have to deal with the lanes, so they can't fight. So that's the way you play against it. And you find a timing to actually fight them because you are the one controlling the pace of the game with the creep equilibrium. They ban out the Storm. Storm very good with the Silencer. Multiple initiators. They don't have the Bat anymore. So those two are probably the best with Silencer.
Yeah, just any heroes and just start the fight. For sure. And they've been loving the pair of the Venge Mirana on the side of Mineski, so no shocker to see LGD actually take that one out.
Still anti-mage though. Still anti-mage and Lich. Both are still available in the pool. I could actually see Mineski grabbing Lich AM because of the fact that I just mentioned. If the enemy has superior team fight, you split the map. Lich is going to win you the lane, allow you to split push later with an AM, and it's going to make it very annoying for the opponent. That could be a possible solution to the LGD's lineup. I think they're just looking to ban out like heroes that could actually just single-handedly win out the game. Yeah, they ban out the Arc Warden. Those two, Arc Warden and Storm, those are two heroes that can actually single-handedly win the game. Like how we mentioned, the two cores on LGD, Somnus and Arme, they are both very, very good cores. They can actually win the game if they're given a good hero in a good situation.
And Ame's only played a couple heroes here that he's really stood out on. That Terrorblade and the
I think he
Arc
plays almost everything, yeah. He plays Terrorblade, he plays AM, he plays Arc Warden.
But he likes more of like these pushing heroes, like the ones that can really push like towers and take advantage because
of the team.
Because the team, yeah. And Somnus doesn't really play those heroes. He usually plays except for his Lash, but we won't see Lash.
Like the balance is like they have a pushing carry, and then they have like a mid laner that's always going for kills.
Yeah.
One kills heroes, one kills buildings, and they ban out the Pugna. Sand King, I guess. Sand King is very scared to go up against the Pugna because of the ward.
You think that's Ice's hero?
Mineski? Yeah, I think he's the only one that plays the hero.
I think so as well.
I am quite sure of that. I've seen Mushi play the hero, but I don't think he will be very comfortable on that hero. So Monkey King is like a mix of both. Monkey King is team fight and wave clear. He has both. So depending on the situation of the game, he can do whichever they need. If they are strong to fight, he can join the fights with items, but if the game is not going well for them, they have the Monkey for the split push, the wave clear, and the Mirana. They have 2 heroes already.
And I like that they have more catch with that. The Monkey King always gives you like multiple more disables. Earth Spirit, Mirana, Monkey King, they're already set out to have good team fight,
triple
good
stuns.
disables, and yeah. LGD goes for maybe Ember Spirit pretty early on too, since they already know the core matchup.
Didn't we see like Ame play the hero like one game, like earlier?
Did he go? He went the. Was that him who went the safe lane phase drum build?
Yeah, it was
I think
him.
so. Yeah, that was him. He did go phase drum.
So still a flexible pick for them.
Sure.
They could go both lanes.
But like you said, it's another hero that pairs well with the silencer, right? That hero that can jump in, start the fights with the global.
Yeah.
And he can actually look for the Monkey King, right? You can like search for him in the trees. And it's catch for his Mirana because you can't leap out of the chains.
So because they have Monkey King, I'm wondering if they're actually going to still go back for Puck and put Mushi on the Mirana. Because Puck and Monkey King is very, very good together, like the synergy. You coil and you put the Wukong's command on top of that.
Do you think they'll still go for something like Lich? Even though it's only shown magic damage on the side of LGD, it doesn't seem that likely. But it's good for the lane.
Depends on what they want to put Mushi on. If they want to put Mushi on AM, they'll go for Lich. If they want to pick something else to go Jakiro, I think.
Yeah, I think the Lich.
So they have like right now very good lanes and very, very good team fight. They can definitely contest the team fight right now. If anything, I think they have stronger team fight right now. Lich, Earth Spirit, and the Monkey. These 3 heroes provide you with so much team fight. And LGD is definitely going to even draft more. Or Magnus Ember, Void. And you can also have the Skewer, another spell to search for the monkey in the trees. Or
something else that FY's been playing a lot of recently is Darks here.
Could work actually. What do you think, Yanis? Darks here. I'm not a big
fan of the hero.
Not me. Not right now anyway.
Yeah, because he got nerfed. Like we've seen one game, right? It's here. Like someone picked Darks here, but
safe lane Darks here.
It didn't work out so well. I think it was BG
Thunder.
Yeah, BG Thunder. Yeah, I think it was them. Someone picked it. I remember. Didn't really impress me too much. I mean, they have a decent combo. Vacuum into the Sand King stun, the Burrow Strike, and you have the Iron Shell on the Ember Spirit, which is something really, really scary. But I do think that they are definitely going to pick more team fight and maybe Magnus. The Magnus tied like a Void kind of hero. I'm not so sure about Void. So they're just going to go for more lane. This is a lane
dominator.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they enjoyed the Enchantress earlier with FY, so...
Yeah, but then the team fight, it means they're giving up on the team fight though, because the last pick is probably going to be that carry, which would not give too much team fight. I actually don't really like this pick so much, but I know that Enchantress is really good against Monkey King. Say you get a lane mashup, Enchantress against Monkey, that's going to work really well for the Ench.
And you're eventually like a Hurricane Pike builder, which is incredibly good versus Monkey King at all stages.
So maybe that's the idea. They want to put the Ench against the Monkey and lane the carry elsewhere. Possibly could happen for LGD here, but I'm not too big a fan of that pick here right now.
I don't like it versus like all the burst damage and like you said, the super overwhelming team fight that Mineski has at the moment could be problematic for that.
So they're probably going to be split pushing themselves right now, because if you look at their setup, the first 2 is team fight, then Ember Spirit is like a hero that can move around, like a very mobile hero. And then they followed up with the 4th pick, which is a strong laning hero. So I think it leads me to think that they're actually going to go for like some AMs, kind of like a big split pushing hero. I'm not sure if that's the case, but I'm actually getting that vibe right now. Because otherwise the Enchantress would be feeling really weird.
Yep, it's been a top pick for Ame, of course, the AM, so not out of the bounds of possibility.
Yeah, but it's going to be like AM against Monkey King though. That's
yeah.
Still think, don't you think Mineski can still go for the AM for themselves?
Possibly.
And then they can have the super late game anyway. Like they have the good team fight, they have the 4 heroes that can fight without the anti-mage. I think it would be a really good pick.
I still like it. Still very good. I think if LGD doesn't want it, they probably will ban it. Or they pick TB and they just let you pick AM.
That's like what they like to do too. Ame is, of course.
Because the matchup is actually really good for TB. TB can just destroy the AM. Like there's a lot of timings. You have faster timing than the AM. So they ban out the Necro. I guess still a possible pick for Mineski here. But I don't think they will pick it personally. But
if they're thinking the Marana is Moons, then
they still go for the safe lane member, right?
Yeah, they pretty much switch everything up. The last 2 picks is all for lanes. So LGD, it tells me that LGD has this idea that against Mineski, we cannot go for too much team fight. We want some team fight with our supports, and then the rest of our cores, we want to give them good lane matchups. That's when the Ench and the Ursa pops up.
So I really like AM, for Mineski. I think it gives them like the late game, as long as they don't get run over in the lanes.
Pretty much everything though with the AM. Late game, early game, team fight, split push, catch.
Phantom Assassin. That's to try to help. It's great versus Ench and great versus Ember Spirit as well, because low armor.
Low armor. So it's gonna be mid. PLH mid.
I do think so. Yeah. No, it looks like they're still gonna put the Marana mid.
No, they might switch lanes though.
I guess maybe switching
sometimes they might switch. I'm not sure about the laning phase, but I'm still siding with Mineski this one. I think they have the overall much more balanced lineup with strengths in each department. The lane, the mid game with team fight. They have decent Roshan as well with the PA. So Mineski for me.
Okay. I think they've got over-glaring team fight on Mineski. I do really like what they've got going. And Ame playing Ursa, we saw maybe playing it, but Ame playing it, I like him more when he's just playing these hard carry type heroes, and that's not one of them.
Okay, so Mineski for you. Okay, both of our experts have taken Mineski to win the opening game in this best of 3 grand final. Are they going to be correct? We'll find out, of course, at the end of this one. Who takes the advantage early on? Let's find out as we head over to our commentary team for the opening of the grand final. Some magic and some Star Wars with Merlini and Toby 1.
That makes you the magic.
Woo! I do like playing in heroes, if that counts.
I believe that. I believe that woo. That woo.
Yeah, it wasn't fake.
It wasn't. It wasn't. It was only missing the W at the end to be a real LD wow. We are going to go into this game. It is familiar territory for Mineski. I don't know if it's familiar territory to have the panel actually go full one-sided with Mineski. Do you believe in the boy?
More for Mushi PA. I have a question mark about that. I saw his PL. I was not happy with his PL. His PA, I haven't seen him play too much. There's some heroes he just plays amazingly. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm all in on Mushi this game. Like his Vengeful Spirit is really, really good. His Phantom Assassin, I don't think I'm going to be impressed by it.
How? Okay. Where can you go wrong with Phantom Assassin?
Builds are hard with PA because you have to build BKB at some point generally, but PA also really struggles a lot versus Silencer. It's not often that you see that matchup here because Phantom Assassin is one of those heroes that actually needs to cast tons of spells. Her spells are 6 and 5 seconds respectively on her first 2 spells. So that means Curse of the Silent is going to just is going to destroy you. And you don't have a good way to get it off, right? You have to deal with global already. So like what are you going to get? BKB Manta? Like those are So I do like the matchup versus Enchantress though. High attack speed is great versus Ench, and also she's a low armor hero versus a pure physical. It's very good.
Yeah. So lane matchup works when LGD, as Winter and Fog were saying, like at the end of the draft, they were trying to balance their lanes up to give themselves an advantage. And with our lanes actually unfolding now, it looks like at least Mineski will get that matchup of PA versus the Enchantress up on the top, unless he just was there for the rune. It is still going to be Ice on the off lane. They've gone for practically the same build with the PMS. The only difference is the shared tangos, and LGD are going to make life difficult for Mushi.
Yep.
2 heroes already moving into position. There's no vision from the Radiant in this area as well. So Yao's moving in. He's got boots as well as the Burrow Strike ready. Chicken reveals itself for half a second, but they want Mushi just to come a little bit further out. So Flame Gun starts doing his damage, but Mushi's too close to the tower. It looks like Yao, as well as QQQ, doesn't believe that's on.
That wasn't a good block coming out from maybe. That's one of the problems with having supports over here, is that they won't actually be in position to get a good block for the lane.
It's harassment, nothing more, with the Burrow Strike.
Just a little bit. Sand King's not great at harassing like that. You need a little bit more room to chase generally. But Silencer getting a lot of work done on bottom lane.
Yeah. Arcane Curse made it a lot easier when both Moon and Ninja Boogie stand next to each other.
Yep. And they did get the Enchantress versus the Monkey King matchup that they did want, so Ursa in the off lane, not very common, but still it's gonna be fine for FY.
Yao just messed up his timing. He came down a fraction of a second too early. He was looking for the Courier Snipe, and he aggroed the range creep. So it didn't really work for him on that front.
It's still really hard to get a Courier kill as a melee. You generally have to smoke for it this early in the game.
So far, he hasn't wanted to commit that heavily into it.
Yeah.
Because we did see the movement from Mineski up on top. Monkey King does not want to let FY have space. As a nice little Phantom Strike away from Mushi is, okay, Jabs, I don't think he got the memo that they were not investing into this mid lane with a gang Somnus, Slide of Fist Searing Chains, an early point in that slide. He was able to close the distance, but not enough.
That was very well played by maybe still trying to... Oh, okay, he's still dying. He is not level 3 yet. I think you really need that level 3 untouchable, or level 2 untouchable before you can really stand in lane versus Monkey, but... Yeah. Ice's Monkey King is very scary.
Nice arrow from Moon. Already set it up with the Frost Blast. It's enough slow that it was guaranteed to find the kill.
Tough times. They drafted for the lanes and still are losing the lanes.
Yeah. Lich holds the lane back. Monkey King Ice just does Ice things. And all Mushi has to do is, well, stay even with CS and not die to the heavy rotations. The amount of times Yao's actually committed to this mid lane, like you haven't seen him take any of the bounty runes. And he's sitting still shy of level 2, leeching experience from Somnus.
He could kill the Monkey King. I think Monkey King's a fairly easy kill for them. He's very low on regen right now after that first maneuver. But looks like they're just trying to pressure the other cores, more importantly. The ones that need more farm.
And this vision of Mineski, like, again, they've been fantastic with this throughout the entire tournament. But that one observer watched most of the rotations down to bot lane, so it saw the fact that Silencer was moving in. It didn't, however, see the invis rune of Yao's. Ninja Boogie in close, puts on the Frost Blast, rolling boulder forward. They're creating space, allowing Mirana to leap herself further away, and they're focusing on QQQ. Moon, not a lot of life, and that Arcane Curse is still problematic. He'll need to regenerate back up again, but invis gank from LGD, not paying off.
This is also a tough Ursa game too. Like Ursa is gonna need Diffusal. It's a hard life for melee heroes dealing with Frost Armor. Ember, not really in that same vein because he doesn't really just plain right click that much.
It's always funny watching like Monkey King who wants to get to the 4 hit, but up against 2 points up in Untouchable. Makes it very difficult bottom lane. Ame in real issues. Leap forward, Starfall. That bonus damage will be enough. And QQQ already did everything he possibly could.
They are getting destroyed in lanes. It's not looking so good for them.
So how do you recover? Like the Sand King's now moving around, at least able to secure the DD rune for Somnus' bottle. He took a bounty rune, but like the Silencer is forced off the bottom lane.
We haven't actually seen Lich too much this tournament, and there's kind of varying philosophies on how to deal with Lich. Some players swear that you should just, if Lich is safe lane, you just don't go to that lane. Like you either overcommit to the lane so you can actually kill him, or you just commit nobody because you're not getting any experience from all the denied range creeps. So that's one way that people view dealing with Lich, but it looks like they're actually just sitting in the lane, so they're still going to get a lot of their XP ruined in that bottom lane as a result. So I think they do need to get maybe 1 or 2 kills on the Lich because he is still kind of just making life absolutely miserable for Ursa. Luckily for Ursa, he can catch up through Roche, but you know, you're not really looking at Roche right now. You're looking at more in the 10 to 15 minute range.
Yeah. I suppose like with the build you're getting in from the Enchantress, you can go in there and tank for a charm while Ursa kills it off. But at this rate, okay, mid lane, Mushi able to blink away. Somnus, you're in pretty deep at the moment. He is level 6, however. Stifling Dagger slowing him up. Yow's in the neighborhood. Maybe need to create a little bit of space with the Burrow Strike. Jabs is already in there with a kick. Somnus just walking it off like a stitch.
He wanted them gone. He has 10 stick charges in his inventory, so he was not really in danger, even though he was low.
It's just the lack of... It's the lack of defensive spirit and a potential crit from Mushi. Because he cracked level 6 while that was all going on. Always get a little bit cautious about things.
Yeah, he doesn't have a blight though, so it's not as bad as it would seem. I wonder if he is going to get a blight. I've seen a lot of PAs go without blight, and it's just like, why? A blight is just so good on that hero, and it actually helps you hit towers too, which is a pretty big weakness for PA.
Oh, PA just found himself a haste rune. QQQ's going to come out looking for it. He is not in... Actually, he was for a second in range of Radiant Vision, thanks to the Observer Ward. But Jabs is wrapping around the back. Aggressive ward on the bottom lane behind the tier 1 tower.
I wonder if any of the cores are going to build Silver Edge too on LGD to deal with the PA blur. Because the Ursa and the Monkey King, you don't really want 2 heroes to build MKB. It's kind of a big waste, especially when it's doubtful that Monkey King's going to have any evasion. He doesn't go... They usually go for an attack speed talent at level 10.
Well, it seems like the Ursa is the only one where it makes sense to build a Silver Edge, but even then he wants a Blink Dagger.
No, I think the Enchantress can build it too.
Oh, Somnus in trouble, but jump away. Escapes ISI's initiation, thanks to the defensive spirit, and now will burn the shrine. Meanwhile, FY is making the most out of ISIS not being there. Enchants the Radiant Siege creep. Looks to add pressure to that top tier 1.
He finally has phase, so Monkey King did get that one-on-one kill, so he was a phase up.
They're gonna gank her. Somnus he's got 3 spirits ready to commit. All they're gonna do is just hold Monkey King in position, and impetus damage is almost enough to do it. It'll be Somnus who gets it with that Sleight of Fist. So nice rotations in from LGD, critical one for them. They'll lose QQQ in the meantime. In mid lane, quick silence onto the SK, and he cannot get himself out just yet. The silence lasts a little bit longer, so we got the Burrow Strike on Bushi, but he knew he wasn't going to outrun a haste-ruined Phantom Assassin.
Yeah, tough break for LGD there. Losing 2 supports though, and getting the Monkey King in a tower at is pretty good. Nice use of the range creep by FY. They have terrible tower hitters, so I'm actually very surprised that they got a tower this early. I was looking at their lineup, I was like, oh my god, Ember and Ursa, how are they ever going to right-click towers unless they just win a team fight?
Enchantress stole an army to double catapult. That's what you...
Yeah.
That's what you do.
Her with a lance, I guess, is like not the worst thing in the world, but it's still pretty bad. So no blight, the blightless build.
You were already saying like how you're uncertain about the builds on PA. Yeah, that's what makes the hero.
Mushi's kind of hit or miss. I remember watching his Ember at Starladder one season. I was just like, oh my god, he does not play Ember Spirit ever.
No, you were mentioning your level of tilt before. Nice little dodge from Yao. Moon's not gonna hit that one.
I think Black also went a blightless Phantom Assassin too, but it's very, very rare. I think sometimes you might do it if you're going for like a magic-oriented build versus very high armor heroes. I think TB in particular, but even then, it's like it's still dubious.
There's a smoke movement coming in from Mineski. Mushi, he stuck around a little bit longer just so he could pick up the phase boost, but now it's both Mushi and Jabs teaming up. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Yao, nice Burrow Strike, Spirit committal. Moon will end up falling, and the rebuttal is coming from Mineski. So, what is their target? There's 2 to go for, and they definitely want to grab FY. A quick slap, jump in, and the following jump, and even a kick from Jabs, following up into the silence. They will be able to catch up to him. He's got one quick last word, and the score's problem for Jabs is already starting his TP out. The damage from the range creep, it's not enough to kill him. He'll live with the regeneration of the Fountain and Mineski, even though they do lose that safe laner. They end up taking 2 up on top. But once again, LGD is pressuring buildings.
Enchantress is very, very poor versus this mass physical burst too. So you can see the inherently bad matchup that the Enchantress has just no time to heal up at all. Might have to itemize more for HP as opposed to damage. Like you might need to build like a lance super early on for that extra strength.
Do you have much of a problem doing that? Like Lance Hurricane Pike to push. Obviously the PA can just Phantom Strike back in again.
Oh, it's
like,
great to
get Monkey King out of his ulti too.
Potentially, yeah. I think Pike's pretty much a no-brainer on Enchantress. But the Blight on PA would also help out the Monkey King a lot too, who's also very high physical based. Okay, I see him building a desert. I can breathe a sigh of relief.
Phase Boot, Sequilla, PMS first. Basic items, then we can look into the extra stuff. Even though Blightstone is obviously insanely cheap. Ninja Boogie's in a bad spot. Yao going to come in for the Burrow Strike, in from behind, but it's more of a setup here for Arme, who can rip apart that Lich. He lets the Chain Frost go, but it's kind of just like, at the end of it, a little bit of damage, hold the creep wave back. LGD maybe a little bit lucky it didn't bounce unfavorably towards them.
So now is about the time you can start thinking about Roche. It's almost nighttime. Pretty good time to do it because they don't have great ways of scouting. I would say maybe Monkey King can scout around the pit, maybe an arrow, but still, whenever you're versus Ursa, the window is very, very small to try and contest Roche. And he is also going for a Mask of Madness, so that also cuts down on the window a little bit more. So if Monkey King like shows on bottom lane, for example, that would be a perfect time for them to maybe even TP to the shrine and do it. So ISSI has to be very careful about where he moves and make sure that he does stick around that area so that he can scout out Roche just in case.
Well, he is actually headed down to bottom lane. Like, he's in the jungle for the moment, but in a couple of seconds he'll reveal on bot.
They do have good wards though around Roche, and they know that Ursa isn't going to go for Blink Dagger first because he does have the mask. So I think they're like still...
They're iffy about it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Moon's scouting. He's probably the only one that can escape with 12-1 charges and that level 2 leap.
They'd have to smoke for 2, though.
Do you think it's like LGD can still do it? Like, you talk about Monkey King revealing himself on bottom. Having Enchantress also revealing herself on bottom, doesn't that take away a large portion of the easy power that LGD has to do Roshan?
Nah, Ursa can do it by himself. Ursa's just the best solo Roche hero. Hands down, no question about it, especially if he has lifesteal. Like, sometimes you can do it without lifesteal if you have if you're just really farmed, or if you have a DD rune. But with a mask, it should be super easy. If
Mineski is really uncertain about what's going on at the moment, but with the Moonlight Shadow, there's an Invis rune on the Earth Spirit. I'm looking for detection right now on LGD, and it just doesn't exist. The arrow will fly astray. Moon unable to connect onto Somnus, and because this is nighttime, the vision range is quite poor. Mineski cannot find their target, and LGD, they're already moving up. Phase boost from Arme, he's not going into Roshan, however. Angle up.
They still have to worry about it, though. Look at the other two heroes. They're like, you have to just constantly consider it, especially when there's like a feigned maneuver and nothing actually happens in that bottom lane. And you'll see them just hanging around, seeing what's going on. Where are you?
Ursa goes missing from the map. Their observer ward's too shallow on the dire side of the jungle.
Yeah.
That's the reason why Mineski just don't understand what's going on at the moment.
That's the first obvious time for them to do Roche too. So you don't...
Moon, get out of that leap. Oh. If it wasn't for that high ground observer ward, he would be dead right now. Sleight of Fist Searing Chains would have grabbed him.
Yeah, he did completely reveal the ward though, but worth it to save his life.
The ward's only got a minute and a half left on it, so they may not be too sad about that.
They might make a move. His shield is almost down.
Oh, they see him. Oh, actually, do they? The observer ward's a little bit too far off, so instead they go top. Rolling boulder into kick silence, and Yao in a world of hurt. Moon combining up with the heavy damage of Mushi and jabs.
Oh, that hurts. He was at like 1,800, 1,900 gold before that.
Nice is waiting on bottom. He's really keeping this bottom lane pushed in, so the tier 1 tower is kind of always under threat. We're 14 minutes in. Ursa's had the Mask of Madness for a while. And it's like he's waiting until he completes his Blink Dagger before he goes near Roshan.
Oh, it's one of those games where they're like not in a firm position of power. So if they actually do take a fight around the Roche pit, Lich Bolt, Earth Spirit would destroy them. So they have to be a little bit careful. And it's also one of those games where if you don't get Roche, you're probably going to be useless for the majority of the game with Ursa. So he does have to approach it with care.
So you have to get Roshan, but don't feed your life. Like what's happening to Ninja Boogie underneath the tier 1 tower.
You just wait for
it with the DD.
You just wait for a good opportunity. You don't want like a 50-50 chance of getting Roche for free. Yeah. There's going to be a point at some time. They just have to be patient.
That good opportunity seems really hard though. Like LGD keep having to react to the split pushing that's coming in from Mineski.
Well, once it gets Blink, it's also better too, because then he doesn't have to expend a smoke to do it. So that's also something else.
That's if they have vision, like you still have to come around the top. If you do that, then you're going to come in range of the... Actually, the Radiant Observer was now timing out. But there'll be a new ward pretty soon by Mineski placed down. Who's actually got him? It's in the hands of the Lich at the moment. So I'm interested to see where Ninja Boogie's going to be placing that. Our next attention should be up towards top. Rolling ball to silence once again, but Chabs finds himself in way too deep, turns on the Magnetize. The creep wave will soak up the arrow from Moon. I was going to try and create a little bit of space. The Moonlight Shadow being triggered, but with the Sentry Ward down from LGD, they had perfect vision.
They can also take a big team fight pretty soon. They almost have the Blink Dagger on Yao, and then they can use Yao to Burrow Strike and Epicenter into a fight with a Global Silence. That should be an easy win fight. There's no way they can deal with the Global Silence this early in the game if the Burrow Strike is well placed. There's no BKBs, no Manta Styles, no Lotus Swords, no Yules.
Man, Boogie,
that's a fast Deso from Mushi. He's getting there.
You get all the space up on top. Like, LGD's adding pressure towards bottom. They're trying to fight and be around Roshan. Then Ursa went into the jungle. And Mushi just went top lane.
Yeah.
Disappeared for a good 5 minutes and then farmed up the entire thing.
And now they have pretty good Roche potential too. With the PA and then the Frost Armor. It's all pretty good. Having a lot of trouble pushing out the lanes right now, though, on the side of LGD. Yeah. But with BOTs up on maybe, it should be much easier now.
It's amazing how many levels and farm Ice has managed to achieve on this bottom lane, because he hasn't left it. Like, you talked about Monkey King revealing himself on the bottom lane being a bad thing, but the level of pressure he's had down here without having to move off. Oh, that crit! Woo! All right.
Yep.
That's an observer's challenge right there. When a hero with one attack can go from 100% to 10%.
That's the thing. He's going the same item build as he did in the other Enchantress game, but this is a completely different game where he went phase drums into Pike into Orchid, but like that's no armor and very little HP. Like
LGD is the Blink Dagger Epicenter from Yao, jumping himself forward. Nice burst reveal. Lich Chain Frost going to be bouncing around between Ame as well as Yao until Yao hides in the invisive sandstorm.
He might need to consider buying a Ghost Scepter on the Enchantress quite early on. But, I mean, he's already so far into the 4-staff that it's kind of hard not to.
And got to commit to what he's got.
Yeah.
Mirana just picked up a Diffuser Blade as well, so I don't know if the Ghost Scepter is really going to help him that much. Battle on bottom lane, rolling boulder forward, but defensive Spirit's there. So Ember Spirit able to get back out again from the initiation on bottom.
Tiny bit late on the silence.
Where is Ame off to? It's like he's trying to find Jab. Starts his TP underneath the shrine. Jabs will see him at the last moment. And pinging out the fact that he's moving, but he's right underneath the Great Wave anyway, so Mineski know all. There's your 4-star on FY. So it doesn't have the health, but at least has the maneuverability that comes with it.
Yeah, it's tough because, like, realistically in a fight, you're going to get daggered, and then you're going to get Blink Strike. You're going to get hit once, and then you have the 4-staff. So if, like, one of those is a crit, God forbid if both are a crit, he's still going to have a lot of trouble surviving. And Monkey King Boundless Strike, that thing will destroy him, especially with the Deso debuff on him. So I am very worried for FY's life.
He'll try and live. If he had a little bit more money to his name, maybe we'd have some more confidence. Like, you look at Mushi there at the moment, sitting at the top net worth on the board, but you'll have to go halfway down and a bit further to catch up to FY's net worth.
Yeah, he's just going to have to play it safe and just sit in the back and rely a lot more on the Ursa and the Ember to create havoc.
Well, right now the Ursa doesn't have that ticket to create havoc. He needs the Aegis the Immortal up his sleeve. And how long do you want to wait? He's got Blink Dagger, he's got Mask of Madness building into the BKB now as well. This is all taking time. Ember Spirit went for the magical kind of aggression. He could have gone with that Veil of Discord. And
he needs armor badly. Like,
yeah.
The armor is very important in this game. Like even to the point where Ursa might consider building a Vlad for his team instead of the Mask of Madness. Mask of Madness helps him farm a lot faster, but it's just something else to consider when you really want armor for your team. Like, no one else is really going to buy a Vlad except for him.
Well, both teams scanning out. Mineski's checking Roshan, and LGD is checking behind. Actually, was that the other way around? Need to color those scans. Either way, scan around Roshan, scan around the mid tier 1 Tower of Radiant. Both don't flag anything. LGD are very defensive up on that top lane. It's like they're waiting for somebody to come up and farm it.
PA was around that area, but Mushi's been playing it safe. Mushi's been playing very well this game.
And he's actually backed up towards his own Ancients. Always dodging the movement of LGD. I still haven't seen Ice move off this bottom lane. Not in the last 10 minutes. He's almost got Diffusal Blade.
Yeah, so much for Ghost Scepter.
Yeah, there's 2 Diffusal Blades up. One on Mirana, one on the Monkey King shortly.
And so much for Ember's Yules too. That might be tough for him.
Ame's farming up near the Ancients. So Mineski can have that early warning. We asked where the ward was going to go from Ninja Boogie, and he got it in really nice and deep. And you see LGD trying to counter ward around Roshan. They put down the sentry near the top rune. But thanks to that observe ward, they saw the blink in. They understand that Ame is now doing Roshan. How will Mineski react?
Well, they'd have to react with a buyback if they wanted to defend this, but that's not really happening.
Yeah, Mushi dying is not the way you want this to go down.
But that's the thing, they were so patient.
You got the arrow. Arrow will fly forward and, well, it'll hit the Ursa, but already LGD have the Aegis model in their hands. And, okay, they're gonna go in. You've got the Wukong's command out. Yao will get the Burrow Strike up, but with Wukong's command, it's difficult for Ame to get back out. He'll end up having the Aegis Immortal triggered, and 4 heroes surrounding him. The buyback from Mushi still doesn't come, but the arrow from Moon hitting right on the money. Ame kicked out. He will go down twice. Enchantress ends up buying back. So you get Roshan, but you lose the Ursa twice. You end up burning money on an Enchantress who was already pissed poor. Exactly how LGD thought that was going to happen.
That was very poorly played by LGD. Well, they saw the... I don't think they expected them to jump, but with the arrow, they actually caught a glimpse of the tail end of the Enrage. But like, okay, well, Ursa doesn't have an Enrage. We can arrow him immediately after Aegis. Why not? Let's do it. But they should have just force staff him out right here. I think if you just push him out, the fight is okay. He's outside of the pit. He's not locked in. He can blink out. He's almost out of Monkey King ult, but it was just way too sloppy. FY, I think, been maybe playing a little bit too selfishly in these games.
And now they lose Yao as well. Like, after all of that, that's problematic to say the least for LGD. They'll need a good opening. Somnus, well, if he had a little bit more mana, he has the 1 charges available, so he just roots up Moon, but we'll see how much battle they've got when Ame comes in. And that definitely took Moon by surprise. That quick burst damage. Both Overpower plus Mask of Madness.
Monkey King is so farmed, though. He's more farmed than Ursa right now. It's a big problem.
Echo, Saber, and Diffusal Blade. Having a little bit of trouble. Starts his TP out. There is no stun available, however. Yao's TP takes too long.
And BKB now. PA.
Well, so she has the entire thing. BKB Deso.
Yeah. Pretty much no chance of her dying in BKB. There's usually like Impetus and Empower, Overpower Ursa are pretty good at taking her down, but not through the blur. No, she's going to be ridiculously strong these next team fights. Though I think LGD just have to like just sit back and not really do that much for a while.
That doesn't seem like a wonderful plan when PA continues to grow with levels of money.
Yeah, it's
like late game. Mineski's lineup looks very, very scary. Maybe not so much.
Right now it looks very scary though. You have Diffusal on Monkey King, you have BKB on PA, so these two are just going to destroy the fight. And LGD, they'd have to catch someone off guard. But like even with a, I mean maybe they can catch Mushi out with a stun and use a lot of magic burst at the start of the fight. But even that's like very, very risky. And I think that Global Silence is losing a lot of value right now because of how slow the game is and how quickly Mineski are getting their BKBs. Mineski are just really fast with the fight too. They like casted all their spells before the global came out during the Roche pit, so like Global Silence and the Sand King ultimately has just not really been spot on.
It's kind of difficult as well for like LGD two respondents. You said like they die so quickly. And what happens if that kiting does happen? Like Wukong's command comes in, you don't want to walk into it anyway. Top tier 2 tower is now going to fall, and LGD is still wondering exactly how do they play this. Ice is swinging from trees up on top, hoping someone from LGD will come out of the base, but no one's there from LGD. The new creep wave's on the way in. With that jump forward, he doesn't see all the way up yet, but LGD did just see Ice jump inside the base, but TPs are coming to bottom lane. Somnus is on the tower, and LGD are ready for this fight. Yao's perfectly behind the tree. Sleight of Fist Searing Chain's going to find Mushi. Remember, he has the BKB. He is ready to fight. And the only thing defending the top lane for LGD currently is an Enchantress creep. So they're bringing more friends in.
This warding by Mineski too.
They just saw the Ursa.
Well, he has BKB, so he's feeling okay.
Yep. And it's just seeing him and then being able to move away like Moon was farming. It's like, okay, well, this isn't the play. So they just changed their lanes up. There's only 2 remaining tier 2 towers. You can just split the lanes out a little bit more. Bottom lane, Epicenter, Mushi has to be controlled, gets the BKB off. Yao, Burrow strikes up at Mushi. Man, that follower.
Better what's Sankey?
Yeah. Monkey King, lets the Wukong command go. Man, Ame's dying to this. BKB burnt from him, limps away. He is really expecting Ice 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 to hit like that.
Yeah, that was so ambitious. He's not level 12. There's not the Veil debuff on him. He, I believe, Phantom Assassin also went for the HP talent. Yeah. So that's, nicely played.
One way to push him down. Up in the tree, taking a lot of damage. Quick slap, Searing Chains. Arrow will fly forward, connects on FY. One more attack from Ice 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 will get it. Not certain if really worth it when the Burrow Strike from Yao is able to connect onto Moon. And both Ame and Somnus will catch up to him quickly. The trade-off is the tier 2 tower on the bottom lane that Mushi is currently taking.
Well, smoke got detected.
So they're actually coming around the back. Jabs is just playing King of the Hill. He's got Blink Dagger, so he can easily jump back down. Or, okay, maybe not so easily now. Rolling Boulder, he's silenced up. The tier 2 tower's already gone. And Jabs, well, okay, stick on the hill. And that's what that is. And Ninja Boogie will die as well. Mineski are actually managed to sum 4 heroes across almost every part of this map.
Nice play from FY, though. Of all the ways to... I mean, I guess it's their only way to really break a tree. I don't see any Quelling Blades out anymore, so...
This could be that 4-star through.
Yeah, casual slip and slide.
I actually only have that one. You're right, there's nothing else. Like, there's no other 4-stars. Like Silencer, maybe he would love to afford that, but...
Ember could too with a Remnant. He tried it earlier. But yeah, that'd be just... It's very improbable. You have to know exactly where he is, or kind of guess.
Mushi's going to be finding a friend pretty soon. Somnus, just in the neighborhood. BKB is now done for Ice Ice Ice. So the big melee cause of Mineski now having that magic immunity.
BKB is a big problem because they can't do anything versus BKB. Like if it's BKB wars, Ursa usually wins that fight, but not this game. There's Frost Armor that he's going to have to deal with, and then there's Blur, and then there's Monkey King also with a ton of armor during his ulti, and additional armor from Frost Armor, and then he's lifestealing with Jingu, and he's against low armor heroes, so he's going to be hitting really, really hard. So, like, you don't want a large-scale engagement if you're LGD. You're just going to bring your BKBs, you're going to run away, and then you're probably going to lose 1 or 2 heroes, and Mineski are probably still going to win the non-BKB wars too because of the PA.
That's a lot of problems to list on a piece of paper, man.
You just kind of wait it out a little bit.
Oh, Mineski missing their target. They were smoked up looking for QQQ, who moved down.
You wait for a really good opportunity with the Sand King. So Yao has a lot on his shoulders this game. It's not going to be the same as the EG series where he can miss 4 epicenters and expect to win the game. He's going to need to have a really good epicenter to start the fight and get a ton of damage on them before their BKB hits.
That's it pretty deep. The arrow won't connect, and thanks to the Basher on Ame, freshen up. He has something that can get through that BKB, but now the Wukong Command Global Silence is out. Wukong Command only kind of splits this fight up a little bit and ends with Silencer dying and Mushi having room to escape. The tier 2 tower has fallen as well. Some heavy commitments. BKBs, both of them burnt from Mineski, as well as Ursa. Everyone who had it popped it.
Yep, you're happy with BKB and BKB fights. I think he got really unlucky with the blur hits too. Like he actually got clobbered through his BKB. Maybe he didn't have Frost Armor before that fight. I'm not exactly sure what went on, but there's no way that the Phantom Assassin should be even that close in danger of dying, especially with no epicenter coming out.
Well, you want to play the RNG game, you just have that Mask of Madness as well as Overpower. You're gonna attack quickly, hit a bash.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not really RNG. It's 50%. 50% is pretty high. You can only get so unlucky with that.
It's good odds, man. It's good odds. Yeah. Am I going red or am I going black? Either way. It's a 50-50 chance. Yao's going to show himself up on top. This is probably the last thing he wanted to do. The kick is perfect in there from Jabs. So SK on the sidelines for 43 seconds. Thought he might have some breathing room. The rest of LGD was hunting mid. They have that Invis rune on the Ursa as Ame. He hasn't found a target yet. Now he'll find Ninja Boogie. Moon in the neighborhood, but Ninja Boogie dead so quickly. They're going to defuse a blade on Ursa, so he's actually out of mana for the moment. Makes it difficult to use those wonderful items of his. And then BKB, he has enough. Rolling boulder forward. This BKB is not going to last much longer. And LG don't want to come up here and try and help him. It needs to come closer towards the shrine. So instead, they just let the Ursa die. There is the follow-up into the mid, but the follow-up is Mineski. It's not the other way. LGD continuously losing heroes. Spirit jump in and out. Mushi's BKB will protect him as Somnus is able to get to that defensive spirit near the Ancients and TP all the way home. But more heroes on the sideline at LGD. The only good thing for them is the fact that Roshan is max spawn time.
Whew. Usually that's a bad thing if you're an Ursa.
They actually checked before.
Almost killing Mushi, and at the very least popping his BKB at that point and not dying. You still have to give it a lot of credit for maybe for that. And yeah, Ame, I think Fog mentioned on the panel, he's usually known for these like harder carries, like the Terrablading Anti-Mage, and then like he just traded his life for a Lich. Normally you just like BKB TP out, but he got his mana burned very, very quickly.
This ward near the Ancients, like we've seen VGJ do it. Almost every single person has done it near the Radiant Ancients.
Yep.
It's like the standard ward almost now for VGJ as well as LGD. But you missed it with the Sentry. So Roshan begins.
Yeah, where are you, dude?
Lane pushed out. Somnus has BTs. He can come to the shrine. Roshan's down to 50%.
Oh, DD. Too easy.
Yep.
What is it?
They're smoked up. Like, if this DD wasn't here, they would have potentially had a chance of arriving in time. Now they jump in. Ame with the BKB and the Searing Chains. They bring down the Earth Spirit, combining with the Epicenter. Moon is low, but Mushi, a 16, almost 1700 crit, ends Ame. And they're looking for more. Yao stunned in the corner. The bounce up here by Monkey King. He'll pounce back down again. Combining up with the rest of the double damage of Mushi to find these kills. The Cycling Dagger slowing down QQQ, and Ice will grab this one. 3 heroes lost. Aegis the Immortal. Oh boy. Still intact on the Phantom Assassin.
Yeah, the DD made all the difference there. It would have been a much different fight. Because the Epicenter came out, but it was like very expected, very easy to pop your BKB when they're all not inside the pit. And yeah, Mushi just crushes them.
Why pick a Phantom Assassin? For that exact reason. Somnus in trouble, Diffusal Blade's going to work Mushi. Phantom Strike forward, Somnus just bouncing around, jumping from shrine to shrine. While Mineski beat at the tier 3 town, fortification will wear off. Another defensive spirit is down for Somnus. Mushi, not a healthy man, but remember he's got the Aegis Immortal. He's happy to commit if they can get something in return. The Glimmer Cape making it difficult for LGD just to jump on him as Ice has popped the BKB. Wukong Commander's available, so if LGD want to come out to this, they'll come into it with a double boundless perfect strike. Ice.
It might need to start getting banned out, actually.
I think Ame's dead as well. 1 crit, he's even going to get bashed up by Mushi. The BKB versus BKB. Who wins this one? They've got the regeneration of the shrine. Now it's worn off. Somnus silenced up. Mushi looking for the crit. Yalbara strikes in, but Moon hits the money with the arrow. And LGD, they're almost all dead. Where's that rolling boulder? Not going to happen with the Sleight of Fist Searing Chains, but the Cycling Dagger crits, slows, and the Boundless Strike. Now officially they're all dead. You can buy back on the Ember, but they realize resistance is futile. LGD by Mineski in game 1.
Yeah, the PA countered 2 of their picks really, really hard, and they played it very well. Just played it slow. Ice. I really do think Ice's Monkey King probably second phase ban would be appropriate. He was very good at finding farm and just getting so much done around the map and in the team fights.
He ended up finishing that game with 16,000 damage. Not too shabby. There's only one
black hole, cold, lost and upside down. Faces swirling past me, all my memories rolling vastly. Cold, lost beneath the ground. All done by my own hand, I allow my feelings to become sin. Oh, if you're gonna cut me down, better do it quickly now. You can cut me down, but I won't stay for long. I'll grow back again. Oh yeah, my roots are strong. This is not forever. Folks changing like the weather. Cold, wet, and all around. Toxic people being severed, like leaves falling in September. Cold, wet, and on the ground. You can cut me down, but I won't stay for long. I'll grow back again. Oh yeah, my roots are strong. My roots are strong.
I was so sure of our love. I never thought of any reason, a doubt about us. And now I'm right back at the start. Halfway through a bottle, baby, and nothing to know. I thought that I could keep it low. Take it easy, take it slow. We ended up just like before, so take it easy, take it easy. Thought that I could keep it low. Take it easy, take it slow. We ended up just like before, so take it easy. And you know how to forget all the wrongs and every reason why we've changed. And there's a storm inside my head. It's getting me in trouble, baby, and I can't break away. I thought that I could keep it low. Take it easy, take it slow. just like before. So take it easy.
Say the word, say the word. Say the word, come on. Say the word and we can run around the earth and around the sun. Say the word and we can stay. Forget about that better place. And I know you're healing, 'cause I know the feeling. The streets stop breathing. Don't wanna let you say. Say the word, say the word. Say the word. Seeing all the reasons we should forget about this place, but I don't wanna leave here if you're just gonna stay. Changing like the seasons, been wasting all this time. Should be like satellites cast beyond the sky. Leave our fate for another day. Riding these horizons, we'll find our way. We'll leave our fate and fade into the night. Just follow me to paradise. To say we tried. Say the word and we can run around the earth and around the sun. Say the word and we can stay. Forget about that better place. And I know you're healing, 'cause I know the feeling. The streets stop breathing. I don't wanna let you say. Say the word, say the word. Say the word. Say the word and we can run round the earth and around the sun. Say the word and we can stay. Say the word.
5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban.
Advantage Mineski, obviously, but LGD is where we're going to focus in terms of what do you think they'll draft next?
Wyvern or Jakiro, I think.
Team fight. I think they're gonna switch up their play style this game, because in the first game, up until the third pick, we saw the Ange and the Ursa. It means that they have this idea against Mineski. We have to draft good lanes against them. We don't want to lose our lanes against them. Maybe this game LGD is just gonna do what they're accustomed to doing. We're not going to focus on lanes so much.
Straight up team fight?
Yeah, we're going to draft just good team fights so we can actually take fights all the time.
You know, they did draft those laning things, but Mineski actually came out ahead in the lanes in the last game too,
yeah,
which is pretty surprising.
I was going to ask you about that, because in the draft it seemed like LGD looked like they wanted a team fight early on in the draft, didn't it?
Yeah, and then they just switched it.
Yeah.
They switched it completely. So maybe focusing more on one kind of thing from them. And we see the Wyvern banned out from Mineski this time, so they're definitely identifying that there could be a switch up from LGD's playstyle this time around.
Yep, Spirit from Mineski, no surprise.
So Yao is probably going to be Shaker or slash Sand King again. Opening picks, maybe Jakiro, Lich is available. Not sure if LGD wants to go for that now. Still a pretty good pick here in this scenario. Because it gives you the lane and the team fight. This is the two most important things in this series alone. Yep. You want to win the lane, you want to have good team fight. Because both teams really like to fight.
Yeah, Jams's Spirit is the first one on the board. Congrats to him, by the way, on 9k MMR.
Finally has got it. He's always like complaining.
Do you think they go Jakiro Shaker? Well, definitely Jakiro.
Probably. Like.
I think they do go Jakiro here, yeah.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks, Paul.
Well, we assumed, you know, they're going to switch back up to their very comfortable team fight.
Yeah. Well, that's what we suggested.
Yeah.
As we headed in here, was that was. You know, I think they got sidelined in that first draft. They wanted to go that way and then got distracted somehow.
I don't think before the game and they expecting them to just revert back to their usual style. So and they snatch up the
and we said this was going to be the most competitive hero that they would fight over, and it's turned out to be exactly that.
The replacement we talk about is like Puck / Ember Spirit for Nana.
Yeah.
I think I kind of personally like the Puck for him the most. I think Puck and Mirana, these are the two best heroes for him.
I think Puck, the matchup as well versus the Mirana is incredibly difficult for Mirana, because you just have such a base advantage on the Puck, and you have wave clear earlier with your orb, low mana cost.
Him in the lane, right? Puck
you really trash, It's a very hard matchup for Mirana.
Okay. Yeah, so far we've seen mostly Mirana's been the losing and in the mid matchups mostly. But it's more like in the mid game, Mirana does a lot for your team.
Yeah.
Because you have semi-smoke with the Moonlight Shadow, and then you have a long stun. There's a lot of things you can do for your team later.
For sure.
MSKI have been drafting really well this event, don't you think?
That's what we were saying, right? Like the two teams that have been
smart.
The two teams that have been like drafting the smartest and kind of playing the smartest around stuff have made it here.
Yeah. Another team, I just feel like if they wanted the Puck, they would go, no, leave it till second phase. We'll get it second phase, and then it gets banned, and then they go, oh crap, now what do we do? And it kind of these guys. They're just like, no. We either want the Mirana or the Puck, and if they go Mirana, we take Puck. And
it's Nana's most played, right?
Absolutely, those are those two most played. And they're very direct about that. They're not worrying about counters at this point. We'll figure that out as we go through the draft.
Heavy team fight, and we also mentioned slightly in the last time, we were talking about Vision. I felt like in this game again, the last game we saw, Vision played a huge factor in it. The wards on the map placed by both teams were absurd. It was every single fight was placed under Vision, or taken under Vision.
Oh, okay. I can't see the van. I was trying to look at the van.
You're trying to see the third, but I can't see the third van either.
It was Nyx. I think the other hero that's really good against Puck is like Earthshaker. We talk about it a lot. Earthshaker, Jakiro, Mirana, pretty solid combination for LGD. Instant stun. So I kind of expect either Earthshaker or Sand King. I don't think Yao is gonna deviate too much. And I don't think he's gonna play Kunkka this game, because Kunkka's not so good against Puck. So we might see one of those heroes ban out, apart from the Nyx here. LGD removed the Lich previously. I mean, just a straight up hero that helps Mineski win the lanes. Might see some Bloodseekers maybe this game, because they have been putting a lot of focus on the hero. So maybe one of the teams might actually play the hero here. Could be good.
LGD doesn't play it much, though, right?
Doesn't?
Not too much, as far as I remember, even looking at a lot of their past games. Played it. I see it.
Not a big Bloodseeker team.
Yeah, but Bloodseeker is, I feel, a hero that gives you the laning phase, and he's also really good in team fight. With the silence and the rupture. Very good against, even like a hero like Mirana, he's very weak against Bloodseeker. They ban out the monkey. It took them so long to actually take that ban. So we actually might see some Brood Mothers here. Because if you look at the sequence right now, Mineski has the 4th pick. So they could actually run a Brood. Because LGD does not play Brood Mother.
Nope.
This could be a dangerous situation here for LGD if they don't have good heroes against Brood.
But like you said, they'll probably grab Sanking, which is okay if you. But it's not. It's a support. That's the difference. Yeah.
No, but never mind. F5 plays it. I think if they feel that they need to promote the Sanking to a core position, they probably can.
It's banned. They're looking for Brood Mother.
I think Brood is coming.
Mineski's definitely looking for Brood.
Spider incoming, bro. So does LGD read this right now? Can they actually find solution? Can they get ready for this Brood pickup that's coming? Because they can't pick the hero. I think they can't. I think they can't pick the hero.
They're going to go back for the Shaker.
The Shaker, as we said.
Shaker.
Shaker Jakiro was the opener we thought they might do, but with the Mirana, still similar.
Because they want to snatch the hero.
Yeah.
They think that Mineski is going to want to pick the Mirana early as well. So, do they pick the Brood here, or they pick something like...
If they're going to pick it, they're going to pick it 4 or 5, surely.
Yeah, they can't pick Clockwork anymore because there's Earth Spirit. Silencer, so they go for that position 5. Silencer,
so they're trying to hide it right now.
With
Silencer is very good against Earthshaker because you break the combo with the global. He comes in with the Echo, you make sure you're out of the danger zone, you plop your global, you turn around and fight and kill them.
2 jumping heroes as well, as you always mention.
The Brood is coming.
The Brood is definitely coming from Mineski, yeah.
The question is, do they feel like they can hide it until 5?
No. Because
they can't.
I think if Brood is so strong last pick, I'm sure the opponent is going to ban it.
I think you have to pick it 4th as Mineski here.
Yeah. If you want it.
Yeah.
And they do want it, don't they?
I think so.
You can tell.
With the ban, I mean, with the Sanking ban, it's like these heroes don't really deal versus the Brood either.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense, but who knows? They might go for something else still. That's a possibility.
Yeah.
But for LGD, they're looking for...
Some don't have FYs, probably.
They might actually leave FY hero to last, though.
You think they'll take, what, like a Terrorblade here? They don't see the core matchup, though, for Ame yet.
No, because if they leave the FY hero to last, the Earthshaker can be their offlane, and they... so they're going to leave his hero to last.
Yeah.
They just pick, this is a very good matchup for the Puck. Against the Puck. Puck doesn't want to... That is the last hero. Puck wants to play against.
Yeah.
So
that's not nice.
So that'll be Ame playing the Mirana, another hero that he doesn't.
Okay, I think what's going to happen
often,
here, if they pick the Brood is they're going to lane the Brood against the Viper, and Puck is going to go somewhere else. They're definitely going to avoid the Puck against Viper matchup.
I think this makes them pick Brood Mother even more, right? They see Viper, it's like the best. It's one of the greatest lanes.
Which you have to feel like LGD have to see coming, and therefore have a plan.
They see it coming, but they hope it's not coming.
Here it is.
There it is. Yep.
GG.
Oh god.
2-0. Let's all go home.
How do they salvage this? Okay, they can what? Timber or
Timber or so if they pick Timber, Mirana has to go offlane. I mean, there's Tide, Timber.
Yeah.
There's Axe.
Tide wasn't a particularly good answer.
Legion Commander. I mean, I don't want to say they're pretty much screwed, but
they're pretty much screwed.
They're in a rough place for sure right now.
Oh my god.
So they banned the Pugna themselves.
I mean, they have last pick, so they have time to figure things out here. So on top of the Brood, you pick an AM, right? Is that the plan? So if they shut down the Brood, the AM is gonna farm. Maybe it's too greedy.
Maybe
they might just
a little bit too much.
Yeah, they might just go for something like a Venge because they've been picking Venge with Brood a lot, and they have Puck.
Yeah, and they have Puck.
Yeah, they're gonna pick Venge because they have Puck and Brood. Yeah.
The swap coil break.
Yeah, they're gonna pick Venge. Very likely. Okay,
they even banned the Timber.
There goes the Timber.
Oh god. And it's Venge. Oh my god.
That's disgusting.
That's
literally disgusting.
How to play. GG. Okay, so apart from Timber, so we mentioned
Tide,
Axe, LC, Tide, but those are not really good options for their composition. It deals with a lane, but it's not good with their composition. What do you do, Yanis?
I can't, dude. I don't know.
So the Brood is actually going to go mid, right?
They have
Yeah.
I think the Brood is...
They can't match the Viper with the puck, can they?
Okay, Underlord's very good against Brood.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a mid Underlord. They need to get the lanes, right? So both teams have to smoke out a level and put wards and to see. So whoever has to TP first is going to have a very big disadvantage in the laning phase. And I think because Mineski, they have the Earth Spirit, so they can actually scout better early. So I think Mineski is going to know the lanes and they're going to gain an advantage from there. So,
so Moon is going to go on the puck.
Yep, he's going to
and Army's going to go on the Viper, so that's rough.
They're
lane, but
going to probably match the Brood wherever the Viper goes.
Yeah, that's why the scout.
Yeah, the scout
I think Mineski is just going to straight up get the better lane matchup because they have Earth Spirit to scout.
I like their team fight as well, and it's a Broodmother pick. They've got Venge and Dream Coil. They've got Global Silence.
They do.
And it's a Brood.
It's pretty sick.
It's Mineski, for sure.
Is it?
Let's go.
Okay.
Derry, put it for you, Winter.
I guess that's it then. I guess we move on. Thanks, production. You've saved our analysts time and effort that they didn't need to expend because it was fairly obvious what they were going to pick. Mineski all the way. Is Brood about to take them to a championship title? Let's find out as we head back to our commentary team of Toby, One and Malini.
This game does seem to be in the proverbial bag for Mineski, at least as far as the panel goes, Malini. Can you give us a ray of hope for LGD?
They get 90 points? Oh, actually, they don't even get 90 because they have a stand-in.
Wow.
It's not looking good. Let's just put it that way. They don't have good ways to deal with Broodmother.
That's harsh truth, bro.
Well, sometimes it's got to be real, man.
Hey, at least they made the grand final, right? Is that the way we're doing it? Are we actually hitting the brutality of yesterday of like, well, good luck in the next tournament? But the game should never be won on draft, right? It's just difficult.
That's definitely not true.
It should never be.
Did you see the Drow game yesterday, dude? It's the most lopsided game we had, and that was one of the biggest draft out ones we've seen.
Execution still has to go.
Still has to be right. Artur. You pressed precision R out. That execution was sick. Great stuff.
Just so everyone when I was casting with Fog for that game last night.
No, that's what Fog said, I think.
There was something Fierce said to me about 3 years ago. I'm never ever going to forget it. He's just like, because I made some kind of joke about Arteezy when he went 0-7 in the first 10 minutes on Dro Ranger. And he's, yeah, you know, Dro Ranger, I really don't care about the hero. Once he hits level 6 and has aura, I just want him to piss off into the jungle. Almost make it like it was in Warcraft 3 Dota with a 33% chance of actually getting a last hit on a creep. Just stay in the jungle and give me your aura. If you die, you've failed me as a hero. But if you stay alive, you've done the job. I don't care. You can sit in Fountain. That's an even safer place to ensure it.
It was 30%.
Was it 30%?
I thought you liked the hero,
I thought it was a 1
dude.
in 3.
No, it's 10, 20, 30. I thought you liked Drow. I'm disappointed, Toby. You don't know every little thing about that hero.
Are you sure? I always remember it being 1 in 3.
Well, then how would it scale?
It didn't.
Okay, so heroes just had ultimate that didn't scale.
I remember. Okay, I don't remember that.
30% is not 1 in 3. It's close.
I just remember it being 30 and 1 in 3.
Australian maths right here.
Hey, yeah, you know me. Like in my early days of Dota 2, I remembered everything about Dota. Yeah, I really didn't. I was terrible at the game and didn't know anything. Not much changed, apart from the fact that Mineski, first blood's been spilled. They're looking for a gank up on top lane as well. That's why Jabs is hiding in the trees and Ninja Boogie is pulling the wave back up again so they can wrap around. As far as the matchup goes, at least LGD got what they wanted. It's Underlord against the Broodmother.
Yeah, this is actually really good for them. That's the only matchup that you really, really need, but now they're gonna do the old swap. And let's see, FY does not have a TP, nor does he have one on Chicken. So now it looks like Brood is going to head bottom versus the Viper, which is awful. Viper loses very few lanes, but Broodmother is one of the heroes that wins pretty handily versus Viper.
It seems to be almost impossible as well for Somnus to affect the lane. Like, he went Arrow first. The chance of getting through Ice's Spiderlings is almost impossible. I always love flagging Ice as one of the best scouters of the Broodmother, sending a Spiderling to every single corner of the world. You don't need Observer Wards on the off lane when you have Ice Brood.
Oh, how do you get a TP scroll? The heck? Oh,
They go top.
Okay, that's good. So this is fine. But Ice did just walk bottom. So this means he can just TP back. Have fun.
That's exactly what he does too. Oh, this is just not nice. Fissure block up on top. Mushi trying to cut his way down. He'll get close towards Ninja Boogie. A quick silence onto Somnus. Mushi thinking about sticking around to get the extra bit of damage, and it may have just been enough. Marana will live. Stick charges will let her survive, while the rest of the fight happens to the east. You've got QQQ on the run back out. A quick leap down. Somnus is moving over, but into the clutching arms of Mushi. Yao can do no more. He has no mana. Even though he's got 3 clarity pots there ready to trigger. That's not going to help him, and the musical chairs continues as FY has now returned to the mid lane against Ice.
Musical's good though. I think if everyone just keeps swapping, it ends up better for LGD because you're kind of shortening the laning phase because heroes are kind of just moving around, which is good. You're not like actually laning if heroes are moving. So
they're doing it again.
That's fine.
Moon comes straight back to the mid.
You just don't want a hero to get completely run over in the lane, which is often what happens. Like, Viper just dies once with like an army of 20 broodlings. That 20 broodlings becomes 30, and then your tower is gone, and then you lose the entire jungle. That is what you want to prevent at all costs. So make sure you have a TP scroll on Viper, like he does right now, in case Brood tries to die of him. Just don't lose your tower, and don't let him control your jungle. Brood mothers get out of hand if they can farm the jungle. If they can't farm the jungle, they're not as scary.
Well, here comes the walking once again. FY and Ame. Feels like a relay race.
Yeah, I guess this is also bad for the Viper because Viper's not able to capitalize on his really big strength, which is winning the lane.
Yeah, but Underlord's at least getting a lot more out of everything. Like it's Ame and Moon who are almost sacking themselves. Ame and Brood who are sacking themselves on the move. But then again, do you really sack a Brood? He can always catch up.
Yeah, but you still have to win the team fight. I'm still liking LGD's team fight a lot, though. They have so much AoE and disable. And
if they can get the sustain out from Underlord, then sure. Like, it could be wonderful for them.
He's not going to lose his lane. That's the one thing about Underlord. Like, he doesn't really lose any one-on-one matchups, even against a tough matchup like Brood.
He has managed to block off Moon in the mid. Moon. He's holding on to the orb. Now he's going to use it. A quick little jaunt away to the tier 1. Just 30 seconds before he'll actually have the shrines up. Ice is kind of itching to use one of those as well.
Kick back by jabs.
Oh, nice up on top. Yeah, that kick back into the Mushi stun. One more attack from Mushi will do the job. And Jakiro, insanely tanky support hero, but still, Mineski have enough damage to kill him off. And jabs will go all the way back up to all the way home to regenerate.
Yeah, they're doing decently. Not amazingly well. Not what you would expect from a blowout Brood 4th pick, but they're getting there. I don't know if they're going to get to the point where they can team fight, though, is the problem.
You're still focusing on Mineski here when you're talking, right? Like,
yeah. Oh no. Well, LGD want a team fight, right? That's how you kind of crush.
But isn't that when you just dodge the team fight?
Yeah, exactly.
You go for the quick picks, global silence, stable control. Same with Dream Cult. So either you back out or you get the quick kill and move out, and then let Ice do the split push.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what your plan is going to be. They have a very good lineup.
LGD's going to force the issue. Fissure, arrow won't connect up on top. Mushi not stunned for long enough from the fissure, so he could just walk around the arrow.
Dire has you scan or spirit just so he can get some wardage down, or perhaps even just wrap around. He used a scan like when he was coming up the cliff, making sure he wasn't going to run into anyone. But the supports were top. We're showing top.
We see a lot of this movement then. Thanks to that observe ward on top of the Ancients. If someone's moving back to farm, they'll see that. If any hero tries to gank up into the mid lane, that'll also be instantly noticed. That's harassment on the top lane, not much more. It's Jabs who's now going to get some levels on this bottom lane. As Ice continuously just moving back and forward, he can just go jungle now that he's got 3 points up in the spawn spiderlings.
Yeah, he's a happy camper. So let's see, what's going well for LG? What build are they going to go for is kind of my question.
Or swap top lane, actually grabbing Somnus, ES is waiting for a gank, so this might actually work for them. He was sitting behind. Okay, no, it won't, because he ends up TPing down. They have an Observer Ward sitting in the top lane, just looking for a good opportunity to throw a fissure out. But when Mineski initiate in with the VS swap,
he was still really quick with the leap. Normally you'd combo that with Global Silence, but not up yet.
yeah, it's still short. 4 3/4 worth of levels. And Jabs is able to pull the creep wave well underneath the tower. That's a level 2, almost 3 Jakiro, but level 1 liquid fire pushing? Yeah, that's not pushing.
So here we expect Mineski to get a lot of farm with the Brood shifting in between the jungle camps, and eventually we're going to be able to do Ancients, and he's going to have his desert very quickly too. So yeah,
so many spiders.
And LGD can't really put that much tower pressure out at all.
How do you tower hit until you have levels on the Jakiro?
Oh, that's pretty much it, I would say.
So get levels on Jakiro, priority number 1. Somnus, that Observer Ward, able to actually reveal that Ninja Boogie Mushi in the neighborhood. He does have swap available, so can get Ninja Boogie onto the other side, putting himself into harm's way. But with the silences, Mushi is being enabled. His stun's off cooldown, 2 seconds time, and Yao trying to control him in the meantime. Stun will fly, and FY, well, he'll actually come in thanks to the grab. He'll find 1 kill, looking for the second. FY will claim it. And the aggressive Dark Rift switches FY's lane, but this is when Mineski avoid, well, you had the fight, but you go for the push.
Brood,
well, that's money.
He kills Ame and is looking to get that tower. That was nice positioning by Ninja Boogie. Ninja Boogie has been dodging a lot of deaths as a position fight. He was in the trees and did not get hit by the Starstorm. If he had shown, he would have gotten hit by double Starstorm, and that would have been a simple 1-0.
Jabbed, rolling boulder down, needs to actually connect on the kick on QQQ. This will allow Mushi to 1, swap him into a bad position, 2, stun him up, and 3 is kill him. At what cost, however? Ame, with all that damage, thanks to the Viper Strike, it is still not enough. Mushi will survive, Jabs will go down.
Worth. Nice one, Jabs.
It stops the push. Jakiro still level 4, level 2 on that liquid fire. So the tower push still doesn't come because of it. And that's why Jakiro was down there.
Puck's really hard to play in this lineup too. There's a lot of root with the Underlord, and then they hit the Ice Path to potentially catch you out too. And there's an Earthshaker too. So you still kind of have to be worried about the Puck later on into the game. And they have good ways to kill the Broodmother army, the Spider army. Earthshaker, one of the best. Underlord, like you have to run away during the Firestorm too with your Broodling. So.
You saw LGD actually combo it before. They used the Firestorm, and then it was a leap into Starfall from Somnus. Got him a lot of money. Actually helped him to catch up to the Puck, but this won't help him. Dream Coil into swap, instantly snapping the Dream Coil. So no way Somnus can reply to that.
And then silence to follow up.
Yeah.
So this is good, but maybe a little bit late for them, being able to block up 1 Ancient spawn. For them, ISS is not even there anymore.
Still very good for the 2 cores of LGD. Both Underlord as well as Viper looking very nice on the net worth board.
Back-to-back smokes. FY in a lot of trouble. He does have a hood, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
Now, all that money he had, it won't save him. He can't even trigger the Hood of Defiance.
Well, he also has no mitigation versus the Brood. A lot of times you'll see Crimson or Vanguard and a Crimson Guard versus the Brood. Or else, like, you can't actually tell him the Spiderlings on top of him, but it looks to be a ton. Those things hurt when you have a Dezo already 10 minutes in.
When you add in the Vengeance Aura, Mushi actually fully leveled that one up, so he went a 1-2-4-1 on this Vengeful Spirit and going into Mask of Mana, so they're hitting really hard. All of Mineski when they're ready to push. With that plus 34%.
A little bit countered by Atrophy Aura, but not very much. So this is kind of how you expected lanes to shape out. I don't think anything's been super unusual about this early game. Brood is very, very scary though. And now this bottom tower is taken down so he can farm pretty much the entire bottom right corner of the map. But LGD, they're pushing. They're doing very well. They're pushing. They haven't gotten run over by the Brood yet. Like, he's in the position to run them over, but hey, he hasn't run them over yet. but they're still very slow pushing towers. Poor QQQ in some lower levels.
I feel more sorry for Somnus. Somnus is meant to be like a powerful Mirana. He's getting zoned out by a support silencer who's managed to hit more levels than the Mirana has. Okay. So mid tower gets wrapping around the back, killing the expansion base with the Zerglings. That's what we're seeing from a Broodmother at the moment, while LGD, they will take that mid tier 1 tower, Arme with the last hit. But it's trade for trade. And LGD have to commit so much just to take that.
They also have no heroes that can do Ancients, which is going to hurt their efficiency this mid game a lot. Like their hero, they're actually pretty terrible at taking out Ancients, and no one's really going to go lifesteal on their team too. So you have Mushi and you have Ice who can do Ancients in case this does erupt into a farm war. I say that like it's an eruption, but it's, you know, more just slowly declining into a farm war, which Mineski should win.
Do you ever feel like you're stacking too much when you go both Mask of Madness and having the insatiable hunger on the Brood?
Nope.
Nope. It's always good enough. FY?
It's not about the lifesteal, it's about the attack speed. You have tons of damage with hunger, and when you have a lot of damage, you want attack speed, so they complement each other quite well. And you also don't need to cast any spells.
Oh, they've jumped in. They've gone in on FY underneath the tower. TP support's on the way. He's trying to actually get himself out with the Dark Rift. Global Silence is there. Dark Rift will obviously still complete as Puck, Moon, orbs himself away. The Dual Breath won't be able to connect. Arme has the Viper Strike, actually beating his attack, while the rest, oh wait, yes, he Echo Slammed that. Yao tried to get the stun disabled to cancel the TPs out. Mineski forced all of LGD to come down, while Broodmother took the tier 2 tower at mid. I feel like I'm watching a magician show at the moment. It's smoke and mirrors.
I will say that Yao has not been playing particularly well on the 4 position. I think Victoria's been playing the 4 for quite a long time, so Yao probably not used to these sort of heroes as much as some of the position 5s, but I would say his play has been a little bit lackluster on the Sand King and the Earthshaker. But that's okay. They can still win. I mean, eventually they're not going to have any towers to take, and their high ground's like not particularly great. But Broodmother's going to be able to do Roche and pretty much every single camp on the map fairly soon. And LGD just don't have good ways to catch him. Like they really need a blink on the Shaker if they want to ensure a kill on him. But Yao is farming out alone on bottom, but even that doesn't really feel particularly safe for him.
It really doesn't. And LGD don't know where to move either. Mineski are getting aggressive in towards the mid, rolling Boulder forward as they're going in for the Mirana. Dream Coil kick. The silence didn't connect, but it won't matter. Mirana ends up having the alien kind of style. Million Spiderlings burst from the chest. A quick swap out. Ninja Boogie. More than happy to have this happen to him. That is a very high level silencer. Not intimidated at all by that Jakiro or Underlord. Especially when more support is there. Moon, Orb is going to connect over on QQQ. Rift as well. Both up at level 4, so heavy damage following into the Spiderlings. FY can at least get some money from the Spiderlings go back into the web. They're protected. FY, however, I don't think there's any level of protection you can have against this. Arme will arrive, jabs back in again. Moon, he got the Rift off with the Starfall. The Spiders are dying quickly, but then the Magnetize. It's just this slow, continuous tick. Broodmother, he has the regeneration, but no, not enough. Finally, the spree is ended by Somnus, and Mineski are actually giving a couple of kills over, but only a couple. Somnus looking for his third. The stun is there from Mushi. They don't really have a lot of mana to work with or detection. Moonlight Shadow will allow Somnus to escape. So Ice does fall, the #1 hero on the map at the moment, which actually ends up in a slightly even team fight as far as Golden Experience go.
Yeah, they got a lot of Broodlings in the way. Ice had to end up feeding a lot of his Broodlings to tank the tower, but the Underlord is like super tanky, and the Viper that are very, very difficult to take down. Imagine if they have Crimson on them right now. Oh my god, that would actually been a crush fight for them.
Well, we can come back to the real world as, well, that snap from Dream Coil will end up killing Yao.
No, the Blink Dagger.
Yeah, it's up. And he's still got more money. You also now have Phase Boots over on the Broodmother. That's one very fast, like 5.50 movement speed, Brood. And that's without phase.
At least they killed Brood.
Solar Crest, pretty nice.
You're clutching onto something happy here.
I am saying it's not that bad though. Like I actually expected this game to go much worse for LGD, but they're bringing the fight to Mineski. They're not giving hugely unnecessary kills, and they're very close to the Blink Dagger on Shaker. So things are starting to shape up a little bit for them. Murana has been dying a lot though. Maybe he's been playing very well in this tournament, but this has not been his Murana game.
It really hasn't. Moon's having another crack at him. Not enough mana for Dream Call. Actually, he had mana. It was on cooldown. But this will help Somnus. He now has a Maelstrom. Any kind of increase to his damage. He came pretty close to getting himself like a proper triple kill in that top lane fight.
Close. He almost got an Earth Spirit.
Hey, there's your Blink Dagger as well on Yao. As long as Yao can keep the control up, Murana can jump in. You're going to have that bonus damage.
Yeah, now he has to worry about who he wants to kill though. Does he want to kill the Brood or does he want to kill... Like the Brood is really enticing because you get a ton of gold. Because all the Broodlings around her, but it's also one of the hardest heroes to catch because you're invis and you're very fast. So he has to kind of risk or weigh the risk reward.
That's why they're getting both dust as well as smoke.
Yeah.
Let the smoke break, jump into the instant initiation, dust up, so there's a follow into a kill.
And Puck's also very difficult to kill too. Earthshaker actually didn't use the smoke, so that's great. But Ryder as a reward, oh, he has Blink, great.
Everything is revealed. Let me send. Oh no, they sentry to check the hillside.
Yeah.
Like if they actually smoke on top of this, I'm gonna be really sad. Like, oh, they smoked on top of it.
I don't know if they saw it, but
QQQ was visible.
He was
Mineski don't care. They're initiating themselves. The Dream Call timing not exactly right, but Global Silence. There's no way for the Underlord to reply apart from the Invis. They didn't see him clearly. But they'll finally get the kill. Ice Path into the silence of Broodlings. Oh, they're looking to chase down somebody. Right now it's the Earth Spirit and a little bit too deep. Rolling Boulder over, trying to help out. It's a 1-for-2 trade-off. Make that 3 in favor of Mineski.
Poor Yao. He revealed his Invis Blink Dagger positioning to fissure an Earth Spirit.
Yeah.
But Mineski were all very spread out. So a lot of that has to do with the Blink Dagger show due to the Observer Ward. Not sure who placed it, but yeah, they were like, even if you were to blink an Echo, he wouldn't have gotten anyone important. Yeah. Or if he would have, it would just been one hero.
Mineski would just perfectly split for it. But hey, on the bright side, he still has the Blink Echo. But on the downside, Mineski just killed Roshan so quickly. LGD arrived just to see the carcass.
Plus that he wasn't able to use the spell.
Vengeful Spirit, not push him away. It's the kick from Jabs buying space for Mushi to survive. 5 heroes here. They wanted to stop Roshan. They can't get that. They find Mushi and they can't even get him.
Yeah, really.
This ES has his own Blink Dagger.
He's one of the better Venges out there. Mushi, I really like his swap usage, both defensively and offensively.
I also want to give massive props to Jabs, the man who just saved him. He's had a fantastic performance throughout this entire tournament.
That was more flashy, though. I mean, Venge had ages. They could have easily taken that fight.
Yeah.
But, you know, yeah.
Instead, they're grouping up for another moment.
It's demoralizing that LGD can't kill anyone. They're probably really frustrated.
Oh, here's your jump forward with the stun. They're going to get the kill on Mushi. Yes! But it's Aegis the Immortal. And let's see if they can get out. There's 2 people caught inside the Dream Call. They want more. Yao, he's so low. They're going to swap him back in. At least he gets his Echo Slam off. Ability is used. R is button mashed. And now it's FY trying to escape Dark Rift in time. Barely in time. He'll get home. But is this really your home? I'm fairly certain Mineski are about to seize your property.
Yeah, their home is going to be covered in webs.
Eviction notice.
Get out of Ice's house.
Oh, this is Halloween, right? Like,
this is as scary as it gets. Last game, or 1 game away from elimination, and then you get brooded, and you don't have good heroes.
Yeah.
Because you're scared of the Monkey King. Yeah.
Hey, at least you didn't get droid.
Well, at least it would have been more swift and more painful.
Mineski doesn't really have that greatest way of just ripping your team apart. But at the moment, LGD, like you said to yourself, they were looking for the fight. That's why I'm like, I keep having flashbacks that fight on bottom lane that Mineski were just able to bail from. It's like they're saying, you can fight us, LGD. Come at us, and then you just bail out and find a better trade-off on a split push. So how do you even stop this? And now how do you stop it when the BKB is flying out as well? I believe it's Broodmother's BKB.
You smoke gank the Brood like 3 times in a row and get tons and tons of gold. Like if they... I think every time they smoke gank the Brood, they probably get like 2,000 gold as a team, especially if he echoes the spiders. But I don't think that's going to happen.
No. And with his BKB, if Ice's timing is right, then he's going to get that BKB off before you can reply.
Oh, that's what Earthshaker's really good at, stopping BKBs.
Oh, the vision from LGD. They don't even see people outside their base. There's 4 heroes grouping up around their tier 3 tower on bottom. And no one's here from LGD. They're all up on top trying to take a tier 1 up there. ES is coming. Echo Slam, however, it's on cooldown. So he can fidget some spiders. That's money right there. Or you can Rift in Hellfire. That'll work too. Only 20-second cooldown. And then TPs, they're moving elsewhere. Somnus, very wise time to get out of here. It's taking forever on the TP, but Mushi just didn't have the vision. That nighttime restriction. If that was daytime, Somnus was toast.
Agreed.
He TP'd in vision of the lane too. Like, he's only just down far enough.
Our Spirit going for Aether ones. Interesting.
Really? What exactly is like what else would you go apart from Aether Lens? Like what's the perks of an Aether Lens over something else?
Well, usually people go what Yules. I think you can go Pipe this game too. Pipe's pretty darn good. You're not up against farmed heroes, but well, one benefit of Aether Lens is you can kick people out from the fountain from a better range. It's pretty nice. They'll get to that point soon.
It's really your competitive analysis of this item pickup is how do I fountain farm just that little bit better? Oh, LGD, they're still in this game and they haven't GG'd out, so they have some kind of plan, or at least some kind of mindset that will allow them to win this game. Or else they wouldn't be doing what they're doing. This is one way to do it. Farm up more spiderlings. Not exactly, I think the micro was right there from Ice to get that many over. He is bearing down on that diffusal blade.
Yeah, he's just ridiculously farmed.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think, like, what is in LGD's mind? Like, is it just we have Blink Echo? If we combine this up with a good Pit of Malice and Viper has some space in the fights, is that enough? Is it all about the team fights again?
Yeah, it's just about getting a good Echo Slam before the BKBs come out. It's still possible. Extremely difficult with the silence though, but still possible. If Ninja Boogies is in a good spot to global during the Echo combination from Earthshaker, then they're going to get the BKBs off, and then LG are going to get crushed in the fight. And I think that's very, very likely to happen.
It also seems rather difficult to initiate. I know this isn't going to be a support Vengeful Spirit swapping somebody out, but if you put Broodmother into the front lines, you initiate on him, and then it's a quick swap in. You can have 4 staffs, you can have other things that you said, like the ES. He's got his kick available. You've got your Scepter on Puck as well, so Puck can jump in, remove somebody else from the fight.
He can still do like the quick, like if you're really good with Earthshaker, you can like Blink Echo and then stun everyone behind so they can't save, so they can't force that, so you can't global silence. But
you need vision for that.
You need vision for that, and you have to be really good with Shaker. And you have to kind of anticipate where everyone is in the fight. It's very difficult to pull off. But
Moonlight Shadow could help you get there, but while Puck's walking around with a gem, you have to hit the exact right line now. It's Mineski. They were prepping a gank up on top. Instead, they're going to have it around the Radiant Shrine. Already Jabs jumps in. They'll commit in to the global silence. Underlord just locked in position. A 2-man coil into the instant stun. It's just bringing Viper out of the fight, allowing them to focus onto FY. They want to take away his sustain, and take away they have done so. They go in for the double kill of Mushi, looking for the third Somnus. It's a point-blank range arrow, not enough on the stun time. 4 heroes down for LGD. You can buy back on the Viper. But the commitment of abilities, Mineski burned every ulti they had, and that was a very one-sided fight.
maybe they thought they could take a fight around the shrine, but the shrine I think was used like the real fight actually started. And with the BKB, like if you just preemptively pop your BKB as Mineski, there's really nothing wrong with that here. You can pop it like 3 seconds early before the fight, and you're pretty happy with that because all you need to do is prevent or Shaker from getting a good echo off it. When BKB's pop, he pretty much just has to sit there for 10 seconds or however long it may be. So now, with FY's buyback down, with a lot of gold,
oh boy,
lead from Mineski.
Spider feed. Spider feed. There for a spider feed can. Tier 3 town is gone. Mushi caught by the ice path. Remember, they don't have a lot of their ultimates. Echo slam from Yao. Follow up Fidget catching the silencer. Arrow as well. It's under Mushi with a dream coil. Over on 3. The sustain is going to be there. Jabs will end up falling. Mushi in the trees. He'll go down 2. This is the fight that LGD were hoping, wishing, praying for. A couple of kills be worth so much, but the wishing and hoping it's just turned into an absolute nightmare. They just got dumped. Unless Ninja Boogie wants to cash this arrow for them, which he does not oblige. LGD still 22,000 behind.
Ouch. A lot of buybacks coming out. Good echo coming out from Meow. Mushi did pop his BKB in that last fight, and he did not have it up for that one, so they were able to capitalize on that. Jabs tried to save it with that roll and the kick, but not enough. And that was with Brood not really there at the start of the fight.
I can see it again. So it all starts with Mushi being initiated on a Nyao. Holds him there and keeps the silencer out of play.
I mean, you could tell that they're just, you know, they're very, very comfortable with this game. If they really wanted to, they could wait for next Roche, or they could wait for Global Silence so that Mushi has even less chance of dying, or wait for his BKB cooldown. There's so many things that they could have done, but they're just so comfortable. It's like it would take so many fights for them to end up throwing Ice, brooding them in the back.
Should be a very happy man at the moment.
Yeah.
But they still need to close out the game. We've seen teams before get cocky, think they're going to be good, then catch a 5-second arrow, and things go horribly, horribly wrong.
Possible.
Possible. There's a lot of things that have to go wrong in this game. But...
yeah, Aetherland. Let's see it. You can blink further, I guess. He doesn't have enough money for it yet.
No. He's also, like, sitting on a cliff waiting for someone to walk over.
Yeah, just trying to pop smokes, just in case they're trying to do anything funny.
They're actually scanning closer towards the secret shop, wondering if someone's going to hit it. Mirana, just a little bit off the scan area. Almost finished up the Mandasar. At least then she'll have something to break her free of these mass silencers that Mineski are throwing at her. Even BKB, the next item choice here for Viper, has the Hurricane Pike. So can play the distance game. But that's if you can survive long enough. You're now getting more and more burst damage arriving from Mineski. That's a level 3 Dagon on the puck.
Hey, team start deordering it, Toby. That's fun.
Yay!
Okay,
It's Mineski who,
oh,
and they threw down 2 wards for it. They get rid of one of the sentries. Roshan's already gone once more. Mushi, the one with both Aegis and Cheese, and the Moonlight Shadow from LGD. They want to find one person out of position, and the Pit of Malice will help with it. Put the Yule Scepter, the jump in as well. It's a double kick, holding him in position. Jabs creates the space, but then the arrow on Moon. He's in trouble, and Mushi trapped inside that Pit of Malice. Maybe it doesn't actually help him. He BKBs out. They're just punching LGD out. And it's almost a TKO. Mineski now coming down the mid. Still with Aegis, still with Cheese. And they will definitely claim at least one lane of racks here. And in fact, they just claimed the tournament. GG is called from Meow. Mineski, insanely solid performance, will win the PGL Open here in Bucharest.
Very well deserved. Super scary having a Broodmother player like that on your team, though. It makes the draft much, much simpler from the captain's position, and you know, they have to feel very comfortable going to future tournaments with that up their sleeve, and let that be a lesson to you, other teams, too. You know, if you're not going to ban the Brood, at least always be prepared for it, with at least 2 picks.
It does feel like this whole tournament is like, it's been the 5th pick. It's always been like that 5th pick where you're like, okay, well, how the hell do I deal with this? And Mineski is just... they've had that down pat, and they've executed it beautifully. You go through their entire lineup, and from, like, you can always obviously highlight the Monkey King. You can highlight a lot of the heroes that Ice has played in the off lane. Mushi's been very stable with his performance, but the support heroes also been really on the money. Ninja Boogie and Jabs, especially Jabs for me, has just been a real nuisance to every single team. Their rotations have been on point. Moon's been solid in the mid. Overall, just as a great team, they look very synergized.
Yeah, I think everyone on their team has had at least one like really, really good game where you could call them the MVP. So, I mean, Ninja Boogie probably the one that's
My head is heavy, let me lay it down into your lap, I would love to drown. I need that story I used to hear, to run on and to end disappear.